everyone, welcome back to Simrite Fashion Academy YouTube channel for another interesting tutorial. So today's tutorial, we want to talk about how we can make this fitted dress asymmetric on the thumbnail right there. So if you look at the dress we have, you can see is asymmetric, which means the neckline is not the same on both sides. So whenever you are making an asymmetric bodice, you have to draft your pattern full front. What I mean by full front is you are going to have all your front pattern drafted. So now I want to start off this tutorial right away from the scratch, and I'm going to have my full bodice pattern right here. So right here, I'll just take a width of my paper. I'm working on a small scale drafting. So my drafting here, I'm going to draft in a small scale to explain to you how you can go about the asymmetric neckline. So okay, so let me just take what I have here and cut off. Alright, so this is my shoulder line right now. This is the shoulder line. That is all measurements you have to take off from the shoulder. So for the first, what I'm going to take right here is going to be I'm going to take my chest line. Like I said, it's a small scale drafting. I'm taking my chest line measurements. After my chest line, I have my bust point. After my bust point, I have my under bust line, and then I have my waistline. So we are having a half scale drafting right here. The skirt part is not a problem. You can just go about your skirt part the way you want. It's a fitted skirt part. So these are the lines we have right here. So I'm going to identify the center front right now. So the center front is simply the middle or the center of the front dress. So I'm taking this as the center of my front dress, which is 6.5. So I'll just draw the line. I'll just use a dotted line for the explanation. Alright, so I'll start imputing what I have. I'm imputing my neckline. Remember, this is a small scale drafting, so I'm making it in a smaller scale. So if you are imputing your neckline, this should be your natural neckline. What do I mean by that? Natural neckline simply means your bust divided by 12. Whatever your bust is, divide it by 12. If you have 3, you'll be imputing 3 from this to this, 3 from this, and 3 on the depth. Okay, so I'm going to measure my shoulder. Okay, I'm measuring my shoulder starting all the way from the center front. That is shoulder divided by 2. So this is my shoulder divided by 2 for the scale, small scale drafting. So I'll just come down by 1 inch. So whatever your shoulder is, come down by 1 inch. Okay, so I've come down by 1 inch, and here I slant my shoulder, and here I come down. So on the chest line, remember this is your chest line. On the chest line, you are also going to come from the center front and impute same shoulder measurement divide by 2. Then I'm going to take it this way. So if you are new to this channel, please kindly subscribe. Turn on your notification bell to receive videos like this every day. Like this video, share to family and friends. Drop your comment on the comment section and your suggestions as well. So what I did here is to find the mid line of my chest line from the shoulder drop to the chest line. So once that has been gotten, I came in by 0.75. I believe many of us are familiar with the basic bodice drafting. So I will just go ahead and complete my armhole. Okay, so I will do the same right here and also come in by 0.75. Remember, this is asymmetric, so I have the full front bodies drafted for this dress. All right, so we are done. Next you can do now is to start imputing on the bust point. This is the bust point. So from the center bust point, I'll go in with my bust pan. So I work with this bust pan. Like I said, is small scaled. So whatever your bust pan is, please try and impute your bust pan accordingly. So this is it, and that is it. Okay, so I'm working with my dart position. Remember, this is the waistline and this is the under bust point. So I'm taking my dart of 0.75. I'll take 0.75. Okay, all right, I've taken 0.75, 0.75 right there, and I'm going to connect my darts. Okay, so the waist measurement, from the center front, I'll take my waist measurement and add my dart allowance, and from here I'll measure my waist measurement and add my dart allowance. From there I'm going to complete I'm completing the bodice pattern right now. All right, so that is that. Next is impute your bust dart. So from the bust point, I'll impute my bust dart and divide by 2. So I'll do this, I'll bring it out a little, and then I'll go this way and take it back for bust accommodation. From here, I'll also take half of it and repeat exactly the same thing I did on the right side. So what actually made this dress asymmetric is the neckline, okay? Not the bodies, the neckline. The bodies can also be asymmetric sometimes, but once it's asymmetric, spread out your full pattern before you draft. So now it's high time for us to start drafting, and the first thing we want to consider is this neckline. So for this particular neckline, this is how you go about it. From the natural neckline, come out by 1 inch, and at the mid armhole, come up by 0.5 or 0. Let us do 0.75 so it does not go too off. Once you have done this, you bring in your pattern ruler. If your pattern ruler can give you exactly what you want, but if it cannot give you what you want, okay, let me just try. Okay, it's not giving me what I want, so I'll just use my free hand and take the asymmetric neckline. So if you look at that asymmetric neckline, it went a little bit up before it comes down. I don't know if it's a design or what. So if you look at the thumbnail very, very well, you will notice what I just did here. It came like a curve this way, and then the asymmetric continues. So I'm trying to blend up my lines. So this is what we have.